Hey, we all up in here, but we're not there anymore. That was last weekend, LA Fit Expo. Um, that's where we were last weekend. Yeah. A lot of this footage was intended to be flying the wall type footage. Basically, just taking you guys along, taking you guys through all the nooks and crannies. But it didn't work out that way. Number of reasons. I still suck at this, and I suck at this in the fact that I do a poor job in multitasking. Like I have a hard time living in the moment, as they say, and then bringing out the camera. And you also feel mildly intrusive, and then also I just forget, right? But I did get a bunch of random footage. I don't know how useful it is. It's useful in that I get to talk over it, but it was a damn good time. That's for sure. There's a lot of people that I don't get to see all that frequently, and it's one of the reasons that I venture out this way is to definitely see my peeps, the friends that I have made within the fitness world over the last like decade or so. Great seeing them. Great meeting a lot of the 3D Muscle Journey supporters, and then also yeah, that thing right there, the pokey. So yeah, just being out in LA, we don't get like consistently awesome fish like out here in this landlocked state. We don't have a barbell brigade either, so we have to go in there and definitely get one in. And that was a bittersweet day. It was supposed to be an assessment day for me, but at this point, we woke up like at 3 in the morning. Last minute Packers, yeah, and then all the sitting from the airplane, the LA traffic. Um, yeah, just that 275 for a plus set was not the gonna happen. It just wasn't the most sensible thing to do. So instead, I just got a few hard sets in with 295, and 295 should never be this hard. But man, I was screwed up at this point. So I just took what was there. It was the last training day of this block, and I really wanted to end on a fantastic note. And the front squat's one of my better lifts, so I really that's one of the reasons that I placed it there. But no, I had to fold, and I'm just going to focus on the fact that for the most part, the training block was highly successful. Many more good days than bad days. Leanna, though, she absolutely killed it. She was a total road warrior, and yeah, that was a milestone set for her. So she totally stepped up. I, on the other hand, just had to take what was there, and then after this, I just decided, you know what, like again, um, kind of down about the fact that I didn't get to perform the way I just last week, the week prior, I projected I would, based on a few heavy front squat sets. But hey, the vibe was right. The super training homies were there. A lot of our other homies were there, and a lot of new homies were there. So I'm like, you know what? Just gonna have fun, gonna dance like no one is looking, and play with some of their uh, their uh, their fun equipment out here at Barbell Brigade. So, for example, this Pit Shark right here, absolutely amazing contraption. Had me a ball with this, did lots and lots of reps. And knowing that I had a deload coming up after that, I'm like, you know what? Even if I get a little carried away playing around, I have a cruiser week where, yeah, I'll get a chance to recover from that. But yeah, after this week, we kind of just crammed in a deload while we were away. It was deloading while on the road is actually quite easy. Come to find out. And now we're here. We're back at home, and things are going to get serious because as far as I know, the next few weeks I don't have any travel. Although I might end up heading over to Canada in 2 weeks, maybe. We'll see how that goes. We'll see. We'll see if I get pushed and poked enough to make that trip. But ideally, I would love to be here at home and just try and just like train with my equipment and really just focus on yeah, all things bodybuilding. It's nice to have a period post show where you're kind of cruising, but I'm craving structure. I'm craving progress. I kind of have been all along, but I've known that it's perhaps not the best thing to finish off a prep and get right into, I guess, your next creation. So I've been chilling, but like now I don't want to chill as much anymore. I just want to do the work. Um, So that's going to be the focus. The next few weeks, what we're going to run is something a little bit more, um, just easier to two things that we're taking into consideration here. One is the fact that, like I said, dude, I might be in Canada in 2 weeks, and then the Arnold, and so on and so on, and then there's Europe, like right after the Arnold, basically. So all these things are with all these adventures coming up, I need a program that lets me work with what I have available that day. So this upcoming program, is going to be a bit more auto-regulated, but then also it's going to be quite linear. Quite linear in the fact that week to week, I just keep feeling better and better, stronger and stronger. And that's how it is when you come out of a contest prep. Like, you swear you're freaking cured. You swear that, like, you're all the way recovered, and then the next week comes and you're like, oh wow, 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 this is an extra gear I didn't have last week. So that's going to be the goal, is to ideally, like, just stay at home, like really really just get to work, go stealth mode, if you will, right? Like, just chill here in little Fort Collins, in my little dungeon gym, and get to work. So yeah, the training cycle, again, it's down in the description. It's going to let me, like, progress in a super linear fashion, but I feel that at this point, as things are finally starting to get serious post prep and I've gained a lot of my weight back, it's a wonderful time to really go for it. But then also, if I find myself just in the middle of some travel mess, it'll be okay in that I can fold for the day and know that I have next week where I can really get at it. But ideally, I would just love to stay at home, progress, really, really push it, and then eventually go into a training block that is a little bit more appropriate given my training age. But I would really love to milk these next 4 weeks. What else? What else? So another thing, and this, I think this one is huge, especially for my peeps who are coming out of a contest prep. I've decided to go, stealth mode. Not just, and what I mean by that is not just like being here at home in my little dungeon gym and just like doing the fucking work, but also in the whole. I think this is something that I have not talked about, is that post show I made a commitment, and it was a very easy commitment to make, is to just stop, like, looking at myself all the time. That is something that people will do, as they're dieting into a show. Is it, and it's good practice too. You want to keep a close eye on your physique so that, you can monitor things, progress, lack of progress. It can help you, decide how you're going to peak going into a show. But, like, post show, there really is no reason for that, especially with how slow muscle grows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like, stop lifting is naked all the time, right? And a few reasons for this. I think for a lot of folks coming out of a prep, just like looking at themselves less, and training a bit more covered up, can perhaps help them cope with a little bit of some of the fat regain that comes with, coming out of a show. Like, it's something that you must do, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the most comfortable thing to do. So again, just like, stop looking at yourself every time you go in a bathroom, and then when you are training, just, like, wear some clothes and focus on your progress. And this is something that I got back when I was, I was just a teen, and I didn't realize back then just how good this strategy was. And that what I would do is I would, for a few weeks, like, train in, like, sweaters and sweats and kind of hide everything. And the reason for this, and mind you, I was growing at a much more, like, accelerated rate back then, is that eventually I would remove the clothing, and underneath would be all sorts of new gains. And that's kind of sort of what I want to do with this. I think, one, the body fat regain stuff doesn't bother me too much, simply because, like, I know I can get much more peel than, like, 99.9% of people. So I have that. But then also, just the fact that, like, I haven't been training. Like, I don't train to like look a certain way or to feel sexy or to feel good about myself. There's other things that, to be honest, play a bigger role in that, in how I feel about myself. Um, so a big reason for me is that it just simply lets me focus on performance. So that's a huge one, right? There's less gawking at the cosmetic side of things, and it just lets me be more objective, absolutely. But then also it does charge up the gains. Like, I want to be able to 3-4 months from now finally get some training sessions in a sleeveless shirt and be like, dude, some work's been done. So that's one way to make, uh yeah, yeah, you don't have to be in the room for the paint to dry, basically. Like, you could just go kick it, go do something else, come back, it's dry, you got the job done. So that's one thing I'm going to really commit to. I think the looking at myself all the time, post show, letting go of that was quite easy, because, to be honest, and I'm admitting that I'm admitting to this, that one of the hardest parts for me, like, I love the training, I love the eating when I'm prepping, but I absolutely dislike the posing practice. So doing less of that, like less flexi time, no problem. But man, no, I absolutely love like the meathead attire that I wear in the gym. But I'm gonna cool down with that, and I think come, say, March and April, when I do like bring out the guns, right, and it starts to get a little bit warmer out here, yeah, I'm gonna be like, wow, like, I can see some differences, and especially in my case, when things move that slow, I think it's especially important to do so. So that's what I meant by stealth mode. Stealth mode definitely means like, hey, I just want to play athlete for 2 months. Give me 2 months at home with my equipment, and I think I'll make some wonderful progress. And then the other one is like, yeah, let's just train in a fucking beekeeper suit, and then and be less neurotic about, like, am I grown, am I not? Let the performance do the talking, and if I'm constantly progressing, eating enough, not losing weight, then chances are we're doing something good. So that's the plan. That's the plan for now. But so far so good. Like, this is honestly like the best, at this point, like coming out of a prep, the best I've felt. Again, in the past, I've used the reverse diet model. So at this point, about 8 weeks post show, I'd be something like 4 or 5 pounds over. And as a matter of fact, this week, this morning, I was 175 pounds. So that almost puts me at 20 pounds, 20 pounds over contest weight, which is a lot better than 4 or so pounds. So I still feel that in another 5 pounds, that's basically where I make the absolutely best progress. Like, things are almost, the rate at which I progress, it's almost like intermediate-ish or high-level intermediate-ish. Well, at least it has been in the past. So I want to revisit that, see how that treats me, and then we'll assess. But the plan, as of right now, is I don't think I want to see a mini cut until the holidays. Yeah, until the holidays, like at some point, early November, post Halloween, because I got to get the Halloween candies in. But that's the plan, is to basically gain weight until then, and then take a 2 month, go through a 2 month fat loss phase, and then do it all over again. But I wouldn't be surprised if I completely just skip out on the cutting, especially if I have a crap ton of momentum as well. And that's another thing, and it's going to be hard for me, especially given the fact that over the last few years, I've let my off-season weight hang somewhere in the mid to high 170s. Adding 10 pounds to that's going to be very different. And there's going to be times where I'm going to, tell myself, like, I think you can lose 10 pounds and be this consistent in regards to progress. But objectively speaking, I'd rather stay on the safer side, and absolutely just train a little bit heavier, and yeah, like, if I get to the point where it's like, hey, I'm 188, 190, and it is November, but I'm making all sorts of progress, just absolutely killing it in the gym, then we're just going to leave things here and we're not going to change anything because it's working. So yeah, that is a big mistake I see people do sometimes. They will abandon a cut because they feel a little uncomfortable. When in in reality, it's like you had all this momentum going. Like just keep going until maybe like you stall a little bit, and even then like wait it out. So yeah, I think as of now, everything everything is going according to plan. But again, the way bodybuilding works is like things are going to plan, and then something surprises you. So I'll stay humble, just keep working, do everything in my power to again recover well, to stay injury free, and to yeah just really do the work, which to some people it's I don't know, like to me that's probably my favorite part is just doing the work. But yeah, the double gulp has come to an end here. We will get more more training footage next week, an update on how the first week of this program has gone, and yeah again, thank you guys for all the support. A little tardy with this one, but I guess we have more or less 2 weeks worth of yapping here, right? All right, that is it. Peace.